everybody has been asking a lot of questions about Northview and about the eco development kind of side of things, because as we know in Roatan, there's been a lot of stuff going on that is not good, and it's definitely not good for the reef. So everybody's really concerned about this. So today we thought we'd come out here with the developer, Marco, and his
Hi,
team.
guys.
And then we're just going to ask all of the hard questions you've been asking me on Facebook. I'm going to be asking Marco, and you can hear it actually from the person who's doing it all. And I'm pretty sure you're all going to be just as impressed with this development and this developer as I've been for the last year or so. We're going to go, Marco, so you can talk about the house now. You can talk about your vision of the development, start of all.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm Marco, for you guys to know me. I'm the developer here at Northview. So Northview is a 100-acre development here, located on the Santos Guardiola side of here in the Milton Bay section, right by Turkish Bay. And it's a project. I know there's a lot of developments going on the island, and there's a lot of worry when it comes to the environmentals and what's going on. And I want to tell people that, you know, Northview is different. Development is going to happen. It's either it's going to be done in an orderly manner or in a disorderly manner. So planification is the key of development as such, right? It's divided up into 3 phases. That way we can develop one phase at a time, and that helps us control a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Right now we're working on phase 1, and that's most of the roads that we've been able to push in. But all the roads that we put in are programmed to be paved in summertime before the wintertime comes in. So we could have done it in one whole phase and do all the roads and then start paving, but then we'd have to go through a couple winter or rainy seasons and have a bit of runoff. So we decided to do in phases, and we're going through the process right now, paving all of phase 1, and we're doing pretty fine right now. We should be able to do at least 60 to 7% of phase 1 by end of the year. So that will help a lot when it comes to runoff. Northview has all its environmentals in place, all its mitigation studies, and so we do everything in order. I can't talk about development, you know what I mean? I want to get into that a little bit. You know, what is development? So first of all, you got to study the terrain, and you got to adapt the terrain that's not for that use to that use. So what happens is we do the survey. It's an in-house team of almost 80 people, all the way from surveyors to architects to engineers. So we do our own survey with our own LiDAR, and we have all our contour lines, and that's how we design. And we do all our mitigation studies for the environmentals, our studies for the flora, fauna, on the land, on the marine, everything else, you know, I mean, even the studies for the soil as such, if it's the conditions for you to construct. And all those studies are put into place to have our environmentals. And I'm very happy to have we have all our environmentals from Deca Serna from inland, and we have all our permits when it comes to construction permits and the permits to operate in Santos Guardiola. So when it comes to the environmental and the legal side, everything is in order. Yeah. Even when it comes to the catastro, I know that on the island there's a lot of problems when it comes to, you know, we have survey problems on the island. That's a lot. And my background, my dad has been a surveyor for almost 40 years. And that was...
I wanted to get to that part.
And I'm a surveyor myself from the age of 15 years old. So that experience that we have when it comes to surveying, you know, guarantees that each lot will be in its place, that the catastral will be fine. And I mentioned, you know, when it comes to Northview has a permit of 100 acres. What we did with the permit is that we certified the perimeter, and then we took back 3 meters from the perimeter inside into Northview. That way we left a margin of error per se. That way, if there's a lot that's been sold on Northview and it's, you know, it's on the side of another owner or a different development, yeah, there will be never a problem with not having your papers go through, because it's all, you know, there's a margin to play with.
Good margin.
So what happens when other developments is that they leave it on and what happens that the other land, you know, on system goes over the other one, and it's very hard to deal with that. So what we do here is we have sacrificed square meters and land to be able to to guarantee that legal security also, you know what I mean? The rest, and that's when it comes to that guarantee side. And I know, you know, you mentioned last time that there's a lot of developments that promise a lot, and then they don't finish.
Exactly.
And
That's
I know
a
when
big
people
fear
hear Northview, they hear that, oh, paved roads, underground electricity, black water treatment systems with centralized systems, nine-hole golf course, par 3, and the beach access and the rest, pickleball court, dog park. And people say, okay, but we don't see much of that just yet. And they've heard it all before.
Yeah.
But we're working on it. And I invite you to come to Northview. I invite you to come see the services that are being installed. I invite you to come see the golf course that's being constructed, which around 50% of the golf course, 4 out of 9 holes already put into place. The water irrigation system is already put into place. People ask, are we going to supply those water systems and everything? We study the terrain a lot. We also have a natural well. It's not and I'll get to show you down at Northview. It's a natural well that's been there for 20 years, 30 years, and it never dries up. It's one of those things that we preserve, that we found on property, and that we're preserving for that also. So it's not a well that's made for for the use of consumption for the houses, because it's an open well.
Yeah.
But it will help a lot.
So this is the first house being built right here, right?
Right here. So we're on phase 1. We're at the top of the highest point of Northview. We have elevations around 130 meters above sea level. And this is Soul Villa. It's a 3-bedroom house, 2,100 square feet. Does have an added 2-car garage, this model itself, for the client. The way it was designed, we designed things that we feel that I could buy also, you know?
Yeah.
So Soul Villa, the way it's designed, you walk through the door, and the first thing you'll get to see is not the house itself, it's the view behind it. It's a glass door, and it goes down. You step right in, and then you have another glass door that looks off to the pool. And you go right to the rooms, or you go left to the kitchen and social areas as such. So something special about Soul Villa, since it wraps around the pool, the deck area, in a U shape.
Yeah.
Each room has a great view.
Well,
everything. Well, we have a great view. So, and you know, we're building this on this specific location. That way people are able to see this construction going on. And once it's finished, I invite people and we'll have an open house.
Yep.
That way people can get to know the quality of the construction, and that we are able to build to really standards. When it comes to the airflow inside of the house, you know, sometimes we have this problem that you open up one of the doors and the air makes it feel like it gets in and it has a way to get out. Yeah. So even that is thought into the product and how the air flows. If you can see, it's a very breezy part of the of the property, so we'll be able to use that. And even when it comes to the height, for example, the social area or where the kitchen and rest is, it's a bit higher than where the rooms are.
Right.
And the design is done with a lot of thought and putting ourselves in the client's spots. You know, to be ready in around 4 to 5 months. Cool. That way, you guys get to know it. And we got a couple other models. We have a total of 8 models, not only Soul Villa, that are there for pre-construction. We'll see which other one gets started on.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah. To the side. You know, it's only almost a 3-acre golf course. That's it. It's not. We can go.
So it's not like a pristine bay.
No, if we go about, when we talk about percentages of area it's taken up, it's relatively small. You know, to be honest, it's not a product that's built for the masses. It's built for Northview, most of them. You know what I mean? What the Northview is known for is its master plan. It has a little bit of everything. You know, it's designed that it has its commercial area at the top.
Yeah.
You know, access to the beach, a little golf course, a bit of everything.
A little dog park.
It's about the lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, it's about me being able to live here and, you know, come hit a couple holes, or if I want to go down and have a walk to the beach, or I want to take out the dog, or I want to play a little pickleball, or maybe I just want to go have some drinks at the top or get some groceries or something in the future.
So Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. So that reminds me. So the commercial area, you're planning on putting like a little kind of grocery store there.
Yes.
That's the plan.
So on the
Gas
commercial
station.
area, what I can guarantee for now is at least a provision store and Sunset House, which is one of our restaurants that's in our ecosystem.
The one you had from.
Yes, it's opening up on the 20th of June right now.
Okay, good.
So that's inland on Suatepeque, but we plan to bring that here. The names that we put on our products have to have meaning behind it.
Yeah.
So for example, Northview, it sees towards the north. Sunset House is going to be the restaurant at the top. It goes around the sunset. You know, anywhere I put it is because the sunsets on it as such. So all the products that you try to create have that ingrained into it as such. We're on one section of the golf course. Yeah. On this side we have 4 holes, and on that side we have 5. So and this is where we plan to do some retention. That way we're able to store water in some of the sections.
We've spoken about nursery plants and stuff before, because
yes, ma'am.
Because I've seen what you do on the mainland.
Yes, we have two permanent nurseries already on the mainland, and almost 1,500,000 square meters of natural reserve dedicated. So, and we're planning bringing all those teams and experience that we want to bring to the islands, starting off this month, to be honest. It's been a long way coming. So people have doubts about if things that are promised are going to become a reality.
Correct.
And here at Northview Social Areas, we talked about it from the beginning, and you told me, Marco, bring the social area services and the areas to the people and they will believe. And here they are. We're working on them constantly, and we're not stopping. I'm sure of that every day people come at Northview, and they come one day after another, they will see progress going and things getting finished. The idea is to have most of this done. When it comes to the movement of Earth and everything, it's already finished. Like you see, we preserved part of the trees on this side, and we're respecting the way nature runs when it comes to water drainage systems as such. I can imagine myself living on Greenview Court.
I'm thinking Greenway for me.
And this one, this is another
really nice.
that's going to be open.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of everything for everyone here.
Yeah.
So if you don't have an ocean view, this is going to be your view, the golf course. So it depends on what you want and what adapts to you, to be honest. So we have a little bit of everything for everyone.
And I think, like, for me personally, I'm not a big view person. So for me, something like this, so like the Greenway lots up there, so they've got some green space behind them.
Yes.
You have green space in front, and then you have a golf course.
Yes, and the Greenview lots have almost 15 to 20 meters of space behind them of one of the biggest green areas.
Yeah.
And talking about the green corridor, that's one of the projects or the design features that I'm most proud of.
Yeah.
Because it not only leaves the area to be able to preserve nature on the backside of a lot, it connects all of nature. It's like a natural corridor that connects it all. So, these are ideas that with so many years I am 28 years old, but I've started this business out when I was 16.
Yeah.
So it's been 13 years of development.
How many developments do you have so far? 9?
Inland, we have 15 total right now.
15 now?
Yes. From the time you went back, we've opened up 2 or 3 more.
Okay, you're busy.
And we have around 1,890 clients up to date.
Yeah.
And I work every day to satisfy those clients. The clients are the blood of any business. They're the ones. And when it even comes the way we reinvest our money, everything that comes into the project is reinvested in the project in the first 4 or 5 years. Everything that means that we guarantee the services that are coming. And you can you can see it on place.
I can see it.
Yes, ma'am.
We do see it.
And this includes, we have all environmentals and everything. And I was talking about with Don Gustavo, which is my golf expert and the one that directs this.
Yeah.
The impact that the use of chemicals and things that could have on the coral reef.
Yeah.
And I like to mention a couple things that help mitigate this. Right. First of all, the scale of the golf course is relatively small.
Yeah.
The amount of square meters of turf or green as such is relatively small also. So there's a couple questions when it comes to this, the type of grass we're going to use, the chemicals we're going to use. And you know, maybe I'm not an expert, but Don Gustavo, we're working with, you know, we're going over all the chemicals and everything that's certified by the PGA that have been in use for the projects in other places of the world that can can help us mitigate. I'd like to get to the word sustainable. You know? The world is a balance. We need the housing, we need the amenities, and we need to find that balance where it connects with nature and we all can live in one whole harmony as such. So we are working on make sure that everything that we install here is certified. You know, I'm not expert in this when it comes to the standards that we're going to use here. Yeah. And he mentioned two of them, ISO 14000 and 14001, which is those, we're not certified, but we're following those standards right now. And those standards help, there's a certified lines of eco-friendly chemicals and stuff that can be used. I don't know them all perfectly, but I'll be sure as a company to put those out to the public. Yeah. You know, that way they know in what way we're gonna decide to mitigate. So we can always get into more detail about that, and I'll be sure to get all those details so the public can have that tranquility and that confidence in us.
And you know, and since we're standing on the golf course, I know this is something that comes up, and actually you brought this up to me when I saw you, is that, you know, like there's golf courses on the island that aren't maintained, you know, so there's right?
Yes. And that's, you know,
and so what are you going to do about that?
Well, then we get back to the point of scale. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if we build something so big, then the maintenance costs will be according to that amount of area. You know, when it comes to golf courses, it has a lot to do with the amount of square meters of green that you have, because that's the part that's that requires most maintenance. You know, you have the freeways and the fairways in the middle that those are less maintained.
Now, you mentioned when I was in Cebu that your team that has been doing the gardening up here,
yes,
that they're actually going to come down and be part of taking care of this until you have the full homeowners association.
We have the survey company, the design and construction. We have the one that manages the clients as such, which is Alpina in this case. Yeah. But we have Manantial, which is the company that I created for the long term. What is that? You know, we're experts in water treatment plants and centralized systems for black waters. And we understand that, you know, one thing is given in the product and the other thing is maintaining that throughout the time. And if we depend on everybody coming together at once to actually make a decision, that takes too much time and it usually goes bad. So we put in place a company that will maintain that during the years until the HOA and the homeowners association gets to that point where they feel they can manage that. Because even when it comes to the water treatment plant, the runoff that comes out the water treatment plant is tested biologically on my IGMAs to be able to actually operate on my environmentals. The fact that I have my environmentals doesn't mean I have to follow everything, because every 6 months, every year, I will be checked by the internal services, and I want to be doing more. I don't like to be left with just the necessary that has to be done. You know, we got to go far and beyond when it comes to those things. So, you know, having my environmental in hand is not like green light for everything. It's that
I got it and I'm done.
No, it's a mitigation plan.
A lot of people think that,
you study the land, you change the use of the land, and now we got to mitigate and preserve and even help the rest of nature grow. There is a balance in this that can be found that we are working towards too. And since the background that we have inland, you know, it's a different type of vegetation. It's more pine forest and everything. But inland, we give almost 150% of area back. But it's the type of terrain and how things work. Over here, green card is around 14%. Yeah. And like I mentioned, that doesn't feed all the other areas for the nurseries and things that are being left.
When we spoke, you said there's a certain amount you need to do on the mainland where you have green space for all of the development you do. Yes. And then you said, if I remember correctly, that Roatan, you're actually doing, I don't know what if it was 1 to 3 over there, but it's almost 1 to 10 that you're doing here. Can you explain what I'm talking about?
Yes, and the law asks for 10%.
Yeah.
Inland, we're able to do sometimes 100, sometimes 150, sometimes less, but always above what the law asks for. So, and even when it comes to that, we don't, sometimes developers reassign green areas, or they pick the ugliest parts to put the green areas. We don't do that. We sacrifice area behind our lots. Technically, I could have sold a lot that looks cheaper. It could be a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Same price, but you wouldn't have that guarantee that in the backside of a lot that great nature would be preserved. So it's an added value. We put the green areas in places that actually count, where our clients can actually see them and use them. We didn't push it in the corner, for example.
Right.
So, and we use that opportunity to create a green corridor that connects nature itself without interruption in all of the projects. So sometimes developers see area or sacrificing area or green areas as a loss. But if it creates added value to your product and your clients ask for it and your clients appreciate it, then it's a win-win for everyone. That's what we're trying to get done here. Nothing is perfect. We work hard every day, and my team, I'm just the face of a large team of very talented people that I'm happy to work with. We're a united team, and we work towards the same goals. Creates a better product for our clients at the end of the day. My dad always told me something, copy the good, son, and leave the bad. And that's been all my mentality during my years. And that's how we've grown to this point. I always thank all our partners and everybody. I thank you, Michelle, for always guiding me through this process. And even when Northview wasn't Northview just yet. I feel welcome on the island. It's been a learning curve. You gotta adapt. I'm here to stay. I'm interested not only in Northview, I'm interested on the island. I feel like Santos Guardiola is still a green area and has a chance to be preserved. Yeah. And Roatan can be bettered. There's always space to do a little bit better. And all the experiences that we have as a surveyor, as everything in that cycle that I have as a developer that I can add to the island, that can better products for all of us. We all live on this island, and you always mention that to me. I sell a product, Marco, but I live here too. Exactly. So the product has to be great, and that's so true. And I'm glad that those values align as such. We can go down to the beach a little bit if you like. Yeah, when I'm washing my hands, that's gray water. Yeah. When I use the toilet, that's black water. Yeah. So that's subdivided in the drainage system, and the black water goes directly to the centralized systems for the black water treatment plant. Yeah. And the gray water, we recommend that we use a filter. There's a design of a filter that's used that we can reuse, prioritize the good, clean water for our clients' use, and hopefully they take care of it also, because it's a team. As a developer, I'll create a product. Yeah. I'll create the companies that can maintain that product. And our clients have to, be also eco-conscious and take care of the water. Just because it can be paid for, it doesn't mean use it all. Right. But at the end of the day, that's why we have in place all these water reutilization systems that are ingrained into the CCNR and the HOA. So these are things that even if a first client sells to a second client or a third client, those things are ingrained into the product and have to be followed throughout time. We've thought the process out bit by bit. Time gives experience. Yeah. At first, it's always emotional, and it's nice to sell. But the problems come after. Yes. I understand you guys as realtors, you guys need good partners, good developers that create good products, that make sure that the name that you put on top of it is actually, you're secure of giving a client a good product. And I understand that. And, I've been on both sides of the inland. I've been able to be a realtor, and I've had a couple projects where I'm the realtor and some other people as a developer. And I've been on that side of things and not seen the guarantee come through sometimes. Yeah. So I totally understand the responsibility that you as realtors carry. I understand the responsibility I carry towards you and the clients as such, So we work hard every day to get Northview going for you guys, and I welcome you guys to come visit whenever you have some time, and I'm pretty sure you'll like it a lot. I guarantee it. Yes. When people take a picture of Northview Beach, I want people to immediately recognize it. Yeah. So this is not a beach designed for the masses. It's a beach designed to have areas where you can rest. Instead of doing the whole beach, we'd rather preserve certain areas.
Yeah.
You know, and the trees and everything we can preserve as such. We decided to do that way. It looks for a tranquil lifestyle. There's some beaches on the island that's for use of
Cruise ships?
Yeah, cruise ship, mass tourism.
Yeah.
This is not for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even when it comes to, we have a couple hermit crabs here. We even made them a little tunnel.
Did you?
We try to preserve as much as we can.
So that's the hermit crab sanctuary.
Yes.
It's going to be eventually docked, right?
Yes. Until I have the dock permit.
Yeah.
Then we do the dock. It's the same way Northview has been going through its processes.
Yeah.
One by one, step at a time. That's how you get things done in order.
Yeah.